Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Trina. Today's video is going to be my mid-year Techou Kaigi, and I'm not doing too hot when it comes to my journals. So before filming this video, I actually looked up my Techou Kaigi from like the beginning of the year, and I wanted to see what notebooks I actually have during that time. And I thought I was missing one. And I did have I noted down, 6 notebooks in the beginning of the year. One of them is not here because was my work journal, which I previously mentioned that I won't be showing anymore after that video because it had like information and social security numbers and such. So I did not, what I call this, I did not bring it here to show it today, but all I can say is that I used up that notebook and I've already transferred to a different work journal. But in any case, I'm going to go through first all of the notebooks that were in that previous video, go through them one by one, what worked, what didn't work, and then we are going to go to the additional additional notebooks and the changes that I've done throughout the first half of 2025. So I started, or like structured rather, that video with something like notebooks based on how often I use them. I based it on something that I could come back to, like I don't need to go through it every day, to my whenever journal. Like this one has a timeline, but I don't necessarily have to do this every day. I could go anytime I want to fill up the page. The second category is like my anytime or whenever journals, rather, I call them. So it's mostly like whenever I finish a book, whenever I finish a craft, something like that. So those are my whenever journals. And then the last category being my weekly and daily journals and planners. I'm going to structure this video kind of similarly to that and leave the additions to the very last part. So I started the previous video, the other Techou Kaigi at the beginning of the year, with my 1 line a day 5-year journal. And this is a day book, a 365-day planner, and it is undated. And I created like the notes pages and turned it into a 5-year journal wherein I stamped the what do you call this? I stamped the date at the top and then just write one or a couple of lines about the day. And it's kind of embarrassing if I'm being honest, but today is June 20. So I'm filming this. As you can see, nothing there. And nothing in the other pages as well. And so I basically stopped writing in this journal on the 16th of January. I planned on using like my fountain pen throughout all of these pages. And I don't know, I used my Jinhao, I forgot the number of I even forgot to bring it in here, but somehow using that fountain pen made me not want to come back to this journal at all. And it's stuck here since 16th of January, which was also a busy season for me because it was like almost the Nagyang Festival. And I just didn't pick it up until today, which is the 20th of June. And I'm kind of sad about it, but also I'm thinking that I can still come back to this. I can still work on this little by little every day if I wanted to. And I happened to purchase a Kaweco Skyline Sport in the Giama Teal back, I forgot when this was. Was it April or was it March or along those lines? I guess March or something. And I really love this fountain pen, and I decided why not just use up the remaining ink that I have, like a couple of drops left of my fountain pen ink in Aurora Borealis, and just kind of backfill everything. I'm going to do this maybe later after I film this video because I have time. I'm feeling under the weather still as I'm filming this video, so I can get cozy, listen to an audiobook while I backfill all of my journal pages. So basically half of the year, this has been a bust. I could technically drop this notebook, but I was thinking like maybe 2 or 3 years after, or when I fill up this notebook, I would be happy that I was able to be committed to this notebook for 5 years and like relive all of the memories and all of the stuff that happened here. I would like to have at a glance what like special events happened during the months in this journal. So it's 2024 to 24, 25, 26, 28. So, oh my God, it's basically almost to the next election period. So yeah, I guess that's exciting, if I'm being honest, to see like memories over the past 5 years. So I'm going to continue with this. I may have not been committed to it for the past 5 months, but I'm going to try my best to do this. And I'm going to update at the end of the year if I'm able to actually commit to this notebook or not. I will do what I normally wanted this to happen, wherein I wanted to put this at my bedside table. But somehow, when I was cleaning up, I placed this in my cart and I have not touched it ever since because it was in my cart and it was like out of sight, out of mind, which is sad. But I love the stickers that I place in front. I love doing this as my 5 year journal and wanting to keep memories. Kind of redundant actually with some of my memory keeping journals here, but I would like to come back to this and do this again. So the next part here are my whenever journals. So in front of you is my reading journal for 2025 as well as my 2024-2025 make book. So these two, this one actually has some changes to it, but I'll do this first. I really love using like a blank or like rather grid notebook for my reading journals, and I have kept up with this. And as you can see here, I have made it to almost the very end. I'll have a full flip through of this by the end of June. It's still June as I'm filming this, as I've said, so this is not technically full to the brim yet, finished, but once I've finished, I will of course give a flip through. But since this is already full, I do have another of this Vico notebook from National Bookstore, and I already made my reading journal for July to December. And since I really love this and I really love like the spring binding, I have kept up with this, kept up with my reading, and I just really love like scrapbooking and also putting my review. I have used up a bunch of my stationery in this notebook and I have fun with it. And so I am going to continue using the Vico notebook for the remaining half of 2025 and yeah, fill this up and see how chunky it's going to get, because this one actually chunked up quite a bit, as you can see here, compared to this one. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. So that's like one of the notebooks that I was really enjoying using. As for my make book for 2025, as you can see here, 2025 project plans, I did not even cross off anything here, did not write anything in the remaining note pages here. It is because I actually transferred my make book. I transferred it to this notebook, which is again the spring binding. I guess I really just enjoyed the spring binding so that I could technically open up and fold it like that. And I was using this one for my make book for crochet and knitting. So I have my yarn stash, my project planning. I did do some of the projects in here. I have not updated my makes just yet, but I am doing a couple of projects. This year, however, I have been having very bad carpal tunnel. So I am just not making a bunch of projects like back to back. I rest for like a month or so, but this year I have been really into knitting, and I'm also like tracking my book blanket project, Granny Square book blanket project in here, as well as knitting patterns and such. And it's basically the same thing that I was doing for 2024 in this one, only this is bigger so that I could write more pattern lines, or like what do you call this? I am able to like write more of the pattern in one page rather than the smaller one that I need to flip through if like there's only a few that I could fit in one page and I just have to flip through it. And also whenever I use this, I need to clip a clip to open the page, or I have to put something heavy in order for the page to stay still. While for this one, since it's a spring coil or like this sort of binding, I guess I could just plop it there and I could see a lot of the pattern. So that's why I transferred to an A5 notebook for my make book. And I've been using this on and off whenever. It's called a whenever journal, right? So I only use this whenever I have a project that I have in mind. So yeah, out with the old, in with the new, I guess. The next ones are my daily bullet journal as well as my Kinbor week. So my two Kinbor journals. This is the Kinbor A6 where I house my plans, my journal entries, as well as other stuff. I have like almost all of the weekly plan with me's as well as monthly plan with me's in here, and I've been using it, and I don't know if I'm able to have like enough for the rest of the year, if I'm being honest. This is still pretty thick. Like the pages are very thin, so in one notebook it could house like a lot of pages, and I just chunked this a lot because of all of the stuff that I've been sticking, ephemera, stickers, packaging from like a gotcha, and also like ticket stubs, and also like just journaling basically. And I really love this. I really enjoy the Kinbor paper because it holds up fountain pen very well, and also like some of my tone rule markers as well. What I noticed though while I was using this for like the past 6 months, religiously, is that kind of small. Like I do love the A6. I love the A6 format because it's very handy. It's very small, so very compact. I'm able to like fit so much in such a small space. However, as the days progress, I kind of crave for a bigger journal. So similar to like the big A5 of the standard size, I guess, of a classic notebook. And my reading journal is like super big. I'm able to fit so much in one page. And I kind of miss this big structure for just journaling and bullet journal purposes. I remember I filmed a video of like why I quit bullet journaling because I don't have like plans that I could write in, but I restructured my bullet journal to contain like more memories than plans. Oh my god, I totally lost my train of thought because somebody texted me. But anyway, I believe what I wanted to do for next year maybe is to actually purchase an A5, a Kinbor A5 instead of an A6. I do love the structure. It just so happens that I want to put more information into one page rather than squeeze like a lot in one page, if you know what I mean. What's funny actually is that for the past 6 months, I've been thinking that I would like to switch the size for both my reading journal and my Kinbor A6. Oh my god, I had to quickly run an errand. Where was I? Um, I believe I left off with like the switching up sizes. Yeah. So for next year, I actually am planning on doing a swap. So for my Kinbor bullet journal, I'm going to do an A5. And then I do have already purchased two small Muji notebooks for my reading journal for next year. And although I really love the spring, or like the coil rather, the coil binding, I also wanted my structure for my reading journal to be a little bit smaller because sometimes I don't really have anything to say about the book. So what I thought, I actually written it down here. Here, my mid-year Techou Kaigi. I am currently using some of the stuff that are in here. I write that I dropped my 5-year journal, but I am reconsidering it now. And then there's some new ones there. But what I want for 2026, I did write it down here. It's a little bit early to be thinking of 2026, but then again, come September, August or September, it's going to be planner season again, and we are going to be thinking of our planners for the future. So what I wanted to do was that I will want to kind of like one book July situation wherein I will only have one notebook for almost everything. So an A5 Kinbor, I already have it in my cart. I'm actually deciding what cloth cover, like this one, because I know that I won't be able to use this anymore because this is an A6. I'm probably going to use this cloth cover on another A6 that I have. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to purchase an A5 in the grid as well for my bullet journal, but I also would like to um, put memory keeping in it, like all of the, I haven't even explained my Kimber weeks yet, but all of my memory keeping, I would like to put it in the A5 for just one book. I will have my reading journal separate as well as my make book. However, I would like to put like be able to freely journal about a certain book inside my A5 and then write a little, just a little like emotions, reviews, whatever in my Muji A6 or pocket notebook for the reading journal, so that instead of like having this whole page be one entry, I could have like one page be like 3 or 4 books in the smaller size, because sometimes I don't have that much to write, so I fill up the space with just a bunch of pieces of paper, of decorations, of like, as you can see here, I write only like a little bit. So if I could just squeeze this into half page, I could use the whole notebook maybe in a year, like instead of like 2 notebooks for the whole year. So that's just like my initial thoughts on what I want for 2026. And also for the monthly calendar and memory keeping, I would like to set it up in the A5 as well, because I'm going to proceed with the Kinbar weeks. This one is a sad story because I have been loving the Kinbar weeks. I had my first impression video, I had my setup, I changed up the keychain for this multiple times. I love how I did the structure for this at the beginning. I had good intentions of doing this like a weekly memory keeping sort of content. However, I did fall off. Like I'm doing like a couple of cozy, quiet, music only journal with me. However, I am not really that motivated at all to come back to this. It's the 20th today. I keep saying that, but as you can see, I am updating it once in a while, but I have not been decorating the other side. I was like thinking that I want to film a video, another cozy video, journal with me, or like decorate my journal with me situation for these pages. But I find that I am more at ease and more creative when I'm out, like off camera, and like just put all of my stickers on my bed or on my desk and then journal my heart out while listening to an audiobook, which I can technically do while the camera is rolling. But I find that I put down, like, for example, I put down one sticker right here and then come back to it like 3 days after. And I feel like adding to it slowly is the one that I am more comfortable of doing. So even though I really love the Kinbor, I really enjoy like updating, putting highlights and such. I need to be careful because I have like project planning here at the back notes. I track my sickness and moods here on the yearly page, and also tracking when I finish books. And to me, this was nice until I started feeling that it was kind of redundant, and that saddens me quite a bit because I really wanted like a week's form or format of a notebook. It just so happens that after 6 months of using it, I think that I am able to like exclude it from my lineup going forward in 2026. I tried it, I loved it. It just wasn't really necessary. So, in order to maybe like relieve some of the stress that I'm feeling of having to like, I paid good money for this, even though it's technically cheaper than a Hobonichi, of course. I paid good money for this. I want to use it up basically because I purchased it with my money that I like my salary from work, and it's, even though it's not as pricey, it is still like you paid money for this item. So a part of me is like guilty of like spending a lot of money for something that I won't be using throughout the whole year. So I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best to finish this up, but for next year I'm probably like 80% sure that I'm not going to be repurchasing a Kinmore Weeks. It's not because I don't like the notebook, it's just that I feel like memory keeping at this point is like redundant once I'm already doing that in my bullet journal, and also I also have a 5-year journal that I need to be updating. So that's just my thoughts mid-year going through with this. So still I want to finish this and finish this strong. But yeah, basically for next year I might not repurchase a Kinbor Weeks. There is an unless though. There is an unless they put up a design for a Kenmore Weeks or a Kenmore A6 that is like a special edition that I am not able to like maybe a collab or something that I'm able to not resist, like I don't know, Detective Conan or Harvest Moon or something, some sort of like a collab basically that I won't be able to refuse. But other than that, I yeah, 80% sure that I'm not repurchasing weeks. Anyway, on a lighter note, I am going to talk about the two notebooks that I've added to my Techou Kaigi, my journal lineup for 2025. I think I started one of these. Like I can talk about this now. Actually, this is a notebook and pocket notebook that I purchased. That is basically for fountain pen. It's just a blank notebook that is handmade, and I forgot which creator I bought this from. But this is my reading commonplace book. I've been reading a lot in 2025, and I thought that it would be great to have a notebook where I put in all of my favorite quotes in. However, I haven't been keeping up with this at all. And like the House in the Cerulean Sea, what month did I finish reading this? I think in February. But I do have like I still have all of my highlights in my ebooks of all of my favorite quotes. So I'm going to update this later as well. Maybe I'll update this before I update the 5 year journal if I'm being honest, because I found this in my cart again with my other stationery, and I was like, oh, why was I not updating this? Because this is something that I wanted to do. And so I have the time. I'm not busy while recovering from the sickness, so might as well like do some updating and backfilling all of my journals that I have been not using because I was super busy with work. And then the other one here, I started this in March, I believe, or yeah, I believe I started this in March. This is my the strange, the brave, and the nonsense. I think it was an idea actually. This I don't know, book title idea or like a short story collection idea. I just wanted to write that down because it sounds catchy and kind of interesting to me. So I just wrote it down there in the title page. But this is actually my plant journal. I started the garden like late March when a couple of tomato seedlings sprouted from seeds that I started composting. And um, I actually sowed some seeds. Like this is May already. I know because I bought nursery planters in May, but already I had a couple here that I started planting early or like late March. So I only did this. Oh, so I did do this garden journal May, but I started planting in March just to get the story or like the timeline straight because I also forgot. But anyway, I repotted some of my tomatoes. I even structured what my garden looks like as of the moment. These ones in the nursery planter, basically only these have germinated. None of the flowers and herbs germinated at all. So I do still have these petri plants in two separate containers. Now I have repotted, and I just update whenever I am able to. When I prune, when I see certain changes in my plants, I do come back here and also do like a little bit of like to-do list on what I want to do in the journal. I do tend to my journal every morning and every afternoon to see if like there are bugs or some sort of like what do you call this, like leaves starts to go yellow because of like disease and such. I do prune and check in on my plants every morning and every afternoon. Um, but yeah, this is the other addition to my lineup, just so that I could keep track on when I planted, when I repotted, if some sort of major plant dies, maybe from a disease, maybe even like copy a couple of at-home remedies for insects and pest control and those sorts of things. So this is like very early stages sort of notebook, and this is going to be passed on year after year until it's like fully consumed. I did purchase this and like the make book together. It's like one, what do I call this? It's like one sort of like design. And even though the sticker price is like at 79 pesos, I actually bought these two for 100 because it was on sale. Yeah. So yeah, those are my notebooks. So those are all of my journals that I am using now mid-year in 2025. If I count all of the active notebooks that I'm actually like using, it's one, two, three, four, five, and then two of which I am going to update, come back to, and two I am going to be replacing. So I'm going to be replacing my reading journal, and I have already replaced my make book. So this is going in the storage because I'm not going to use it anymore. And yeah, so I started the year with, was it six? I did say six, right? Six notebooks. Hold on, let me grab my list. Two, four, yeah. I started the year with six notebooks or journals in my Techou Kaigi in a previous video. I still have my work journal, but I said at the office that I'm not going to show anymore because of information, but I still have it. So in the beginning of the year, I started with six. In the middle of the year, I am rocking eight journals in my lineup. So it's going to change still. And I'm actually excited to transfer to some of my notebooks, especially my next reading journal, because this cover is not staying down. As you can see, it's because of the use. But anyway, I'm going to update all of the notebooks that I have not updated yet, and I am going to say goodbye now. That is it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's quite insightful for me as well. Finally, all of my thoughts from the past 6 months I have now collated and talked about, and it's freeing to have all of these thoughts and ideas on like what my journal lineup is going to look like for the rest of the year out. And yeah, I'm excited to see how it goes moving forward and also the coming planner season. And yeah, thank you again, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, guys, take care and bye.